Hey everybody, it's Chaymie here and welcome back to another video, and today I'm gonna show you how I edited this photo from that to this. So enjoy this time-lapse editing process. So first up, the reason that she is naked is because the dress was very tight for her to actually ride the horse, like she couldn't move her legs in it, so I had to use the Snow Queen Elsa to take the photo with just her pants and then edit the dress back in later. So right now I'm just trying to align the dress onto the doll so that it fits perfectly. And by the way, I am not a professional Photoshop person, so this is not like a full tutorial per se, because I don't know what I'm doing. You know, it might be wrong, it might be correct, I don't know. Because everything I've learned about Photoshop is either me just playing around in the app or from looking at YouTube tutorial videos, so you might not want to take everything I'm showing here seriously. So right now I'm just attaching the flap of the dress so that it looks like it's gonna blow in the wind while she's riding the horse. And by the way, this beautiful instrumental background music is by Sanjay, so I'll put a link in the description to his channel. So right now I'm just adding a little bit of a shadow to give it more depth. And now I'm going to erase the rest of the background out of the photo. For example, this part, I'm sure there is like a more faster, professional way to cut off backgrounds, but I use this one, it works for me. And I actually made the knock a little bit bigger too, because in reality the figure itself is not that big, it's even a little bit smaller than Elsa herself, so. Because I've already did the dark sea photo once, so I just reused the background from that shot and placed it onto this one. And of course I also reused the water and the splash effects so that I don't have to re-edit them all over again. So right now I'm just trying to adjust the color levels a little bit so that they kind of fit into their environment in the background, giving a little bit of a blue hue to them. And usually after I delete out the background, I like to go around the edges again to kind of clean up what I have missed early on. So for the hair, I want it to be like floating in the wind because she already has a ponytail at this point. So originally I took a photo of the hair separately and I was gonna plug it onto the figure itself. And I would just fade out the actual hair on the doll a little bit so the new hair would blend in easier. But long story short, that hair did not work, so I just reused the hair from my previous dark sea shot and I plugged it onto my doll. You know, for me, editing is all about trial and error. Sometimes I have no idea what I'm doing, but, you know, as you do it, you learn. Sometimes I may have planned something, but it will not work, and I'll just have to wing it along the way to a different idea. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about my toy photography process. So, the first thing I would do is that I would think of an inspiration shot. So I would rewatch the movies or go watch clips on YouTube to find a moment or a scene or a shot that I would want to recreate in a photo. So once I found that shot, I would take my dolls and props and whatever to take the photo. And then we move on to editing, like right now. So when I'm editing the photos, I usually like to listen to the soundtracks of the movies. I don't know why, but when I listen to those soundtracks as I work on the photo, I feel like I'm a part of the world, like I'm in with them in their own universe. And sometimes I would feel like I'm the character that I'm working on. For example, when I was editing this photo, I was listening to Show Yourself, and I just felt like Elsa finding her mama and being the fifth spirit. I felt like that. Maybe like a powerless, a little overweight, completely different gendered Elsa, but I still felt like Elsa. So right now I'm trying to erase the button out of the knock. He's not a toy, he's a real horse. And I'm trying to remove the glare and the reflection from the horse because the lamp I used to take the photo was a little bit too strong, so there's so much glare happening. They're in a dark environment, so he should not have that much glare on him. So right now I'm trying to enhance her makeup a little bit, the lips and the eyeliner, I think that's eyeshadow, just by brushing it over. You know, she may be in the middle of the sea, but her makeup needs to be perfect. She should start her own line of waterproof makeup. Oh, and this is my favorite part, because I've always wanted to do the effect of her dress blending into her skin like in the movie. I was never able to do it, but this time, because her dress is a separate layer, I was able to do it, so yay! And sorry if I zoom in and out too often, sometimes I just need to take a look at the photo on how it's doing, like from afar. So I go zoom in and zoom out very often, sorry. So this part, I'm trying to tweak her eyebrows a little bit to give her like a vulnerable look, because the inspiration shot that I'm going for is when she finally found out the Holland and she's like, I hear you, I'm coming, mama! So that part is the one I'm trying to capture. Again, I added more blue tint to this one because I felt it was not blue enough. And for this one, I'm trying to manually draw the reins of the horse with a brush. And I was thinking like maybe I could draw it and then give it an outer glow with a Gaussian blur, but it did not work. So I ended up just using a sparkle swirl effect that's pre-made and plugged it onto my horse. And I just duplicated it and twisted it and turned it around to make it fit the shape that I want to fit. And this part is for all the non-pros just like me. So if you're wondering like, oh, I want to learn Photoshop, you don't necessarily need to go attend a class and pay lots of money for it. I would say you can read up online, you can buy a book to read it, but the best way is like, just go and watch all the countless free videos on YouTube. There are so many tutorials on Photoshop out there. Every topic on Photoshop, someone has done a video, so I would just recommend to watch videos online if you want to learn. And another way that was effective personally for me is that I would just edit photos, because editing photos would present you with problems. For example, you're editing a photo, you don't know how to remove a background. That triggers me to go search up online and be like, oh, how to remove background from Photoshop. So I watched that video and I gained that knowledge. Okay, later on next week, I'm editing another photo and I do not know how to make part of a layer translucent. That triggers me again to go online and type out those words. So I learned another thing. So you just edit, and edit. So every time you face a problem, it triggers you to go search for a solution and you learn. So over time, your knowledge on Photoshop will accumulate and you can start editing photos. So right now I'm just going over with a soft brush to give it a little bit of a glow on the reins. And I'm just trying to decide the color here. Like I said, it's trial and error, so I don't exactly know what color I'm gonna use. I just wing it and see what's nice. And I also added a little bit of hair strands to make the hair look a little bit more natural. So there we go. So that's how we started and that's where we ended up with. So right now I have done everything that I wanted to do on the computer. So I will save this photo and put it onto my phone to do some final color adjustments and give some effects like sparkles and glows.
A few moments later.
Ta-da! So here is the photo back from my phone. So I have done the final color grading. So all I need to do now is put in my watermark and she is good to go. That's it. So there we go. The photo is all done. So let's take a look at how she started and where she came to be. So that was then. This is now. I'm really happy with how the photo turned out actually. If there's only thing I would change is that I used a harsh light on her. The lamp was very strong on her, so it's casting very strong shadows. So if I could change it, I would just change that. And this is how color grading is important as well. As you can see, even with the same photo, like the color grading makes all the difference and gives a whole new vibe and feel to a photo. Oh, and I also edited the ends of the hairs a little bit so it looks kind of neater. And I hope I kind of got the expression right as well. Does she look happy to see Atahalan? Or she's like, did I leave some cookies in the oven? Are they burning? Kind of look happening. I also noticed that there's a little bit of rough edges near her face, but I'm not gonna fix it because if you zoom out, no one can see it because ain't nobody got time for that. So that is it on my Photoshop progression, time-lapse, editing video, whatever you want to call it. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want to see more of these types of videos. If you do, I can record my editing process every time I edit a photo as much as I can. And if you're wondering, after editing these photos, where do they go? So they go on to my Instagram. So you can check me out at Chaymie Creates on Instagram for more toy photography content. You can thumbs up and like this video if you enjoyed it, and you can also subscribe to my channel here on YouTube so you get more toy video content in your newsfeed or video feed. I will also be posting a shorter progression shot video as well, so it's like very top line to see how the step of editing a photo goes. So right now, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm trying to draw a heart to show you my thanks for watching until the very end, but at the same time I realize that that's the most ugliest, scrawny heart that I have ever seen, so please forgive me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all soon in my next video.